Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. I have heard this song before in passing, and surprisingly, I've heard it miraculously done well at karaoke, but I've never done a deep dive into it, and I didn't know the lead singer's name until just a few minutes ago. So I want to dig in with you to better understand what makes this song so dang good. Let's get to it. Oh, there it is. Okay, there we go. So until this top 10 started in, I was like, I think I'm on the right song, right? I think I'm on the right song. There's a lot of punch in the drum kit, and I didn't realize there was this revving sound in this song. But then, of course, that synth came in, and we're like, yeah, in the right spot. I always have this little fear inside of me because it's so difficult to capture that first time on camera. Right? It's tough. So I have this fear, like, I do my checks and everything ahead of time to make sure it's all set up well. But what if I've done something wrong and I ruin this first bit? Anyhow, real fear, and it especially spiked while there were a few seconds of silence. I was like, oh no, I've done something wrong. But turns out it's all right. So let's keep going from the beginning. Let's go back to the beginning and then keep going. Moment of dread. This would be cool to hear a beatboxer do. I have never seen this music video before, and I love it so far, especially the wink and the obvious reluctance from the actress of like, wait a second, am I gonna dive in? This feels like, do other people see this thing I'm seeing? This seems like a wild adventure. Should I do it? Should I not? I think that this song is largely about taking the leap, and I love it when people just say, I'm not gonna hold back. We're gonna dive in. I like doing that with music. Every single song we analyze on this channel, I love doing that. Just like, we're gonna dive in. We're gonna get into the meat and potatoes of this song. And there's gonna be gravy in there too. Food analyses. We're gonna go back. I want to actually go back to where the verse started, because there's so many little things now that I'm getting into his voice that were super delightful. And I want to talk about each and every one of them.
Talking away.
Perfect.
I don't know what to say. I'll say it anyway. Today is another day to find you shying away. I've been coming for your love, okay?
I love his ease. Morton's ease. I've been very excited to get to learn lead singers' names better. This one, though, Morton, I'm remembering partly because of Mr. Morton Walks Down the Street. Mr. Morton is a subject of the sentence and what the predicate says he does. If you don't know where that's from, that is one of the ways I learned grammar. Fun history. So Morton, excellent first name. Harkett, Morton Harkett, right? Lead singer of this, I had no idea what his name was before, and I don't think I've heard him in anything else. So this is really exciting to dive in. He has so much ease in the way he executes this vocal. Some of that ease we can hear when he's lightly attacking a top note, like just sort of like plucking it out of thin air. Onsets, meaning when a person first starts phonation of a note. Onsets can be really difficult. And coordinating those so that they sound light and easy, uh, that is just tough. A lot of singers really struggle with that. Whenever you have an incredible high, delicate onset, you know that singer is working on their support system and the coordination of when that breath flow is hitting their vocal folds so carefully. We had that in here. There's also all of these little like expressions. There's a little fry or a little creak they used at one point just to make it personal and kind of adorable. Let's be real, it's pretty adorable.
Talking away.
I even think there's a little like, does he do almost a hiccup sound before he starts this?
Talking away.
I've never noticed that. It's almost like a little hiccup as he's breathing in.
Talking away. I don't know what to say.
That ba ba ba. That moment is hard to execute vocally with that kind of ease. That's that onset.
Talking away. I don't know what to say. I'll say it anyway. Today is another day to find you shying away.
And there's your A. There's like a little, essentially a little creak off. I'm gonna go back to this entrance. I think it's so funny, you guys. We're gonna call this the hiccup entrance from now on. I mean, I think I've heard some similar things from another singer. I think Elvis Presley actually does a little similar things. Maybe? Oh, what a weird comparison. Oh, I'll compare a better singer in the future, I promise.
Talking away. I don't know what to say. I'll say it anyway. Today is another day to find you shying away. I've been coming for your love, okay? Take on
I love the rumble below.
Take on me. Take me on. Take on me.
There's a reason why this is legendary. It is so impressive to hear him go through these pitches. You know what? I'm gonna pull my keyboard out. I have a really cool keyboard. It's like right here. You can't see it. It rolls out from underneath my desk like a normal computer keyboard, except for it's this big, long piano, 88 key keyboard. I love it. I'm turning it on because I want to know what these pitches are. I've never figured out what this range actually is before, but it's really rangy. And that's one of the reasons this is so legendary, so iconic, because singing through this massive range in such a short period of time, it takes, it's not just talent. Like there's a lot of things you can get by with just with talent. It takes a lot more skill. Okay, there's some technique that needs to be just fundamentally there to execute this kind of chorus. So let's see. Okay. Ooh, I gotta go back to, sorry.
I've been coming for your love, okay? Take on me. Take on me. Take me on.
That's the one that doesn't
Take
sing.
on me. I'll be gone.
That makes a lot of sense. So that is essentially a 2.5 octave range that somebody's just gone through. Just for some comparison sakes, Let's talk about one of the composers that wrote the rangiest operas, Mozart. He wrote a lot of rangy operas. Come Scoglio is a really great example of a soprano, very rangy song or aria, as they're called when they're in operas, where you have this really big high note and then suddenly a low one afterwards. And there's a rumor that Mozart wrote it because the soprano did this thing where she looked up for the high notes and looked down for the low ones, and he really didn't like her. So he was like, ha ha, I'm going to make you look funny on stage. I don't know if that's true or not, but it sounds awfully mischievous. And I think that Mozart was mischievous. So we're going, basically, all of these notes become anchor notes. It's anchor notes meaning this is like the bare bones. This is the skeleton of this range that he's going through. We're starting on A's, by the way, so we're gonna go A2, A3, A4, and then we're gonna kind of head up here to an E5 at the end if you're really into numbers. And to go through this, we're going through multiple registers in the voice. You need to stay present with the voice the whole time, right? You're flipping between whatever you want to call them. Mode 1, Mode 2, Register 1, Register 2. You might say there's a Register 3 in there. People like to have different names for registers. If I was going to rely on classical naming, I would say we went through chest, then head, then falsetto. And as you're going through all of these, not only do you have to be really, really good about the pitch, making sure it's perfect, because there isn't a lot of room for being expressive with the text and getting wiggly with the pitch. It's like, no, got this note, this one. You have to be very, very accurate here. You have to be accurate while you're navigating through different registers, and you have to go high. Like that first note, that's going to be in most guys' ranges. The next few, in most guys' ranges. Last one, even like the last few, a lot of guys aren't going to be able to hit that. It's incredibly rangy, 2.5 octaves. Mozart, when he was writing for Come Scoglio, I think it's about 2 octaves. I think about Constanza, which is a role that I performed a lot. It's considered one of the most rangy, dramatic roles in Mozart's repertoire. Most of the time, those arias aren't going outside of 2 octaves. So this is 2.5 in just one tiny chorus. It's very, very rangy. Let's go back and appreciate it one more time. Oops. There.
I've been coming for your love.
I'm so fascinated now, knowing those pitches, how they've been set with the lyrics. Okay? A lot of times when we're going through these different registers, it can be useful to think about certain vowels. When you're singing, especially for guys in falsetto, there are definitely some vowels that are easier than others. And one of the easiest vowels for most males is going to be an oo, which is what our highest note is. In a day or two, which I had to check the lyrics, by the way, because I was like, what is he saying up there? I've, again, heard this before, never knew. It's saying in a day or two. Those are the last lyrics of this chorus. Also, it's so interesting. I've heard before, take on me, take me on, and thought, why in the world would he switch those two words Like, what's the point of it? Uh, I'm going to talk more in just a bit about why I think he might have switched those words, but I want you to sound off in live chat right now, if you're there with me, what you think that purpose might be. I think it's really interesting. Let's go back and listen to it again.
It's no better to be safe than
I like that creak. All right, hopefully you've told me some answers so far. I'm going to give you a straight up technical answer here. Yeah, it's kind of cool and intriguing to switch the lyrics. Take on me, take me on. They mean different things, but I wonder if it's actually a technical reason that he flipped these. And I wonder if actually behind this whole idea of what the lyrics are in this chorus, if there might not have been a technical thought. And here's why. Take on me. He's hitting on an E vowel up here. We're not flipping over just yet, but we want to be careful at that point that the voice isn't going out too wide. It has to sort of like start regathering, refocus. That's right at that A3, guys. A lot of you, when you're going up there, you need to be really careful about not letting the voice start to get too big at that moment. There's like lots of little stitchings together that need to happen. An E vowel is closed. Your mouth is literally more closed. Open and closed vowels just mean, is your mouth open? Ah, or is it closed? E or ooh. This is an E vowel, more closed. It helps to keep that sound more gathered. Next, we have this set, which goes A, E, F sharp, by the way. So that is take me on. I like keeping it really gathered right there. On is actually, it makes sense to start to spread it just a tiny bit because he's getting ready to do this flip. And it sounds like he's actually using that to lighten up and get a little fluffy into his voice to prepare to flip into falsetto. But he isn't actually doing the flip yet. So he wants to keep it. There's a very, very delicate balance here. And then we have I'll be gone. And he's light when he sings I'll, which is C sharp, by the way, the C sharp right above the little C. Right there, he's keeping it light, but I don't think he's actually flipped into his falsetto yet, which is like a big register shift, really big register shift. And then at B, gone, V is where I think he actually makes that falsetto flip. And a lot of guys like to flip again on a closed vowel. So E is ideal as far as making that flip, but then a day or two, having the highest note be an oo vowel. For most men, that is going to be your ideal vowel. So I think that it's possible that what lyrics were chosen here actually correspond to what vowels assist in this incredible trajectory across the range of this voice. Let's go back.
It's no better to be safe than sorry.
I don't remember this part. It's like the haunted house from Mario right there. Oh man, did that waitress just trap her in this other world? Does she want to be trapped there? She's grumpy because she was only serving coffee. I understand. I understand. Flight of the Bumblebee, right, entered this song. I'd never noticed that before. It's super chromatic there. If you guys don't know Flight of the Bumblebee, gosh, it was like I think it's something like that. I used to play it on the piano way back when, but it's also iconic classical song that's built off of tons of chromatics, and it sounds like bees buzzing. We get disturbed by that kind of sound, partly because the pitches are so close together. So that buzzing, maybe it's an evolutionary thing. Maybe, our ears have developed to really not like insects near them, possibly. But I had never noticed that we had this sort of chromatic, uh, oh gosh, what did I say? Like a chromatic glimmer happen in this song before. I think it's so fascinating to hear that then added to this super bouncy fun synth. This song is even more bouncy than I thought it was. And that's a wonderful contrast to the super legato long melody. If you think about some of the contrasts in the song overall, just another one of them is that bumblebee-like chromatic and how close those pitches are together. They're as close as pitches can be together, essentially, in this particular tonality. And then his big leaps are almost an octave wide in the chorus. So really far apart. We don't get much further than that apart, okay? So tons and tons of contrast, but it's just wild how they brought the bouncy synth and the B synth, B part together. Right? Ugh. It actually feels like the B's were interrupted by our super fun bouncy synth. I'm gonna call it that. And then it comes back. Like, oh gosh, B's! I know some of you are going to hate this, but I'm going to come back to Elvis here. I have mixed feelings about Elvis, y'all. Sometimes I think he's wonderful, and sometimes I get really frustrated with his singing. So I'll do an analysis of Elvis sometime soon to just tell you more about the thoughts there, because I think he is one of the most intriguing musical figures, vocal icons, since we're using that word a lot today. And I hear Morton using some things that I've heard in Elvis. Not only that, like hiccup entrance, it sounded a bit familiar, but the way that he's reattacking notes. Right? If you think about Elvis, there's a little goosing boop, 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 on each of the pitches that he attacks. Not always. Sometimes he can be very smooth. But that was part of his signature sound, was this idea of reattacking and nudging each pitch. And Morton does that sometimes here. Check it out. I went back too far. Sorry. But bees! His reattack of the notes is less dramatic than Elvis's, but it's definitely there. Boom. Like, that's overdoing it, but you get the idea. Check it out again. Especially that. His range is so easy. So in the verse, he does that reattack that's similar to Elvis, but when we get to this chorus, it really is so smooth. I'm going to come back to Mozart here. When you have large jumps like this and you can make them feel stitched together, it is such a great sign of good vocal technique. When you're jumping a big distance, it can be hard to not make that top note especially jump out of the texture. It's naturally easier to sing louder on a top note. There's more breath pressure that's going to be built up underneath that pitch. More breath pressure means more volume. So most people, as they go up higher, they're going to sing louder. And they're also going to have a break often between large jumps. If you can stitch that together and be super legato, it's really impressive. And that's why a lot of singers say that they really learned their technique or learned how to sing the best while singing Mozart. Just one of the reasons, I should say. So smooth. I just realized that this approach to this line really reminds me of another singer that we've analyzed on this channel, actually even talked to. Fantastic singer who's still doing really awesome work today. See if you can think about that for a little bit. See if you can think about who that might be. I'm going to play this again. I gave you a few hints already. Let's see. Let's see if you come up with it. So I think that Morton's voice has a similar inherent construction or formation to Justin Hawkins' voice. The way that both go into their falsetto, the power they have in their falsetto, the range as well, and just the purity of the sound, I think there's something really similar. I'm going to go back just a little bit partway through this and let it play some more. Let me know if you think that's true. Did you guess? I'm curious. I believe in a thing called love. You can totally hear that in Justin's falsetto. Okay, I don't know where that stopped. I think I'm just gonna hop it right back here. Here we go. I had to hop it back to this frame because I wanted to see what this magazine said. Win a holiday, 36 pages of fun. So it's basically saying, I'm going to take you on a holiday by bringing you into the magazine world. We're going to go on an awesome adventure. I like this. This is a fun little tidbit. I appreciate that ending. Yay! Okay. Good feelings. Oh, play out. I think we're done. Good job, production team. I love my life. I love that we just got to dive into an iconic song and fall even more in love with it. It's just, this is such a good world. If you're not sure if Justin Hawkins' voice is similar to Morton Harkett's, I will put up a playlist over here that has Justin and a couple other people who have amazing falsettos. And may you continue to fall more in love with music every day.